Hi everybody. Hopefully you just got my email, which is a bit of a pre-explanation, I guess, what this live is going to be about. This is not my room, obviously. It is different from where I usually film, and that is because I am currently overseas in the United States. I got here today. I am sleep deprived. I have had maybe 4 hours of sleep over the last 2 days. So if my words do not make sense exactly, that is why. I literally just got off a flight, and if you ever traveled Australia to the US, it's like a 24-hour trip, and I was not sleeping very well. And I flew on an airline that I haven't flown on before, and I didn't realize that their food and service would be so different from what I was used to. And literally every single thing that this airline served had cheese in it, and I can't eat cheese. So I was starving. And the lovely man next to me offered me his protein bars. So there is still good in this world, but I am very tired. Hi, everybody. Hi, Shauna. How are you? Welcome to the US. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm doing this whole double thing again. So I'm on Facebook Live and I'm also on Instagram Live at the same time. But it's good because, you know, hashtag efficiency. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I am going to enjoy the US. So what I'm here for, I'm basically here a week before my company's global training conference. So I'll be seeing all of my team in Vegas, but I flew into Vegas early because then I'm going to road trip with some friends to Coachella, which has been on my bucket list forever. So I'm super excited to do that. And then after Coachella, I'm going to the Justin Timberlake concert, which will be amazing. And then after that, I've got the work conference. And then after that, I'm flying to Miami for my birthday. So yay, it's going to be absolutely epic. And for those of you who helped me with packing tips, thank you so much. I rolled everything up and I had a goal to pack only half a suitcase. And I pretty much did. I only packed like 3/4 of a suitcase and I was still like super under my weight limit. So high five. Thank you, babes, for helping me with that. So I am here in Vegas right now, and I wanted to talk to you. I don't know if you guys remember, I polled it a couple of days ago on my Instagram with 2 separate topics. One of the topics was talking about people jumping from company to company, network marketing, what that does for their reputation, what that does for their business. Should you do it? How would you do it? All that. And the second topic was this, and I called it, why do people stay shit? And it was about when you give somebody the opportunity to change their life, improve their life, make more money, get out of a situation, and they don't. Like the people that you offer the business and they're dead broke, they're unemployed, they have nothing going for them, they're super unhappy, but yet they don't jump into the business. Or the people who join the business and do absolutely nothing. And what's the difference between the people who do something and the people who don't? And just generally, like, why do some people stay shit? And your overwhelming response to when I polled this was you really wanted to hear why people stay shit. And yeah, Janelle, it makes me confused too. Yes, I know. Hi, Jessie. Good morning. And thank you all of your lovely messages. I see them. So nice to see your beautiful face. Lovely. Welcome to the US. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. I love you. I totally adore you. And do you like this top? Confident. Okay. Anyway, let's get into this topic. So why do people stay shit? And this is something that I discuss with my coach a lot because I find it really frustrating when you give 2 people an equal opportunity and one or neither of them take it and they continue to complain about their life. And if you hang around me, you know, one of my personal things is that I say you are welcome to complain, but if you're complaining about something, do something about it. And if you're not going to do something about it, do not complain. You cannot do both. You cannot both complain and not take action. And I think this comes from a place where I believe that everybody has choices. So I'm currently reading 2 books. I'm listening to Gary Vee's audiobook of Crush It. If you have not read it, you have to read it. It is absolutely life-changing for any business owner. I've already implemented a ton of stuff from it, and it is absolutely changing my businesses already. And the second one is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, which has been a text that's been around forever and ever and ever. But it's really interesting because as synchronicity in life would have it, these 2 books really do work beautifully hand in hand. And I just finished Judgment Detox by Gabby Bernstein. That was also awesome. And what these books basically the whole context around Gary Vee obviously is just fucking do it. And it's about not making excuses and that you have a choice and just go and do it. The entire context around Napoleon Hill's text. So I've read Outwitting the Devil by him, and now I'm reading Think and Grow Rich. And I'm starting to see a lot of these patterns and habits come through, which is also reflected in my coaching with people, also reflected in my discussions with my team, also reflected in my discussions with my coach. So if you receive my weekly musings emails, you would have just received an email explaining how at the moment my team is doing a prospecting 90-day challenge, and the conversations that we have around that and the verbiage that we use and how we approach people. And PS, you can also download my prospecting module, which goes through all of my exposures, how we talk to people, how I identify people to introduce to the business, all of that. But what I want to talk to you about right now is, why do some people take the opportunity and run with it, and why do some people not? And going back to Napoleon Hill, his big thing in both of his books is that the only thing that we have complete control of as humans is what goes on inside of our heads. It's the thought patterns that we develop. It's the thoughts we listen to. It's the thoughts that we ignore. It's the thoughts that we sort of act on. So it's our thoughts, our actions, and our decisions. Those are the only things in life that we actually have total control over as humans. And I think you can see that two ways. You can either say, well, that's super fucking depressing. There's nothing else you really control. Or you can go, well, that's really interesting and that's really empowering. And the basis of why people stay shit, and I do have a list and it's written on a receipt from the airport, because my big books I've left at home because unfortunately they just didn't fit the weight limit. I'd rather take spare pairs of shoes. So here is my list, so you can work anywhere. But the context of all of this is that everyone has a choice. Everyone has a choice. And when people are saying no to you, it's because they're actually choosing to. And here, what I'm going to go through right now is some of the reasons why people will typically choose to stay shit. And when I say stay shit, I mean stay in a lifestyle, in a situation, in a job, in a relationship, in anything that is not making them thrive, that's not filling them with joy every single day. So in my mind, staying shit is being unsatisfied. And I know us as network marketers, we approach people because we can tell they're unsatisfied, and we offer them this business model to fulfill whatever they're unsatisfied with, whether it's relationship support, mindset help. I do a lot of business coaching through my network marketing business. I teach people how to run other businesses, and they have to learn how to be an entrepreneur before I believe anyone can be an entrepreneur. Because if you can't be an entrepreneur, you are never going to cut it as an entrepreneur, because the discipline and the skills that you need are completely transferable, and it's free coaching through network marketing. So I don't understand why you try to start a business without leveraging this first. Anyway, personal opinion. So here are some reasons why people decide to stay shit. Number one, it's choice. They're actually choosing. And I find a lot of us maybe give people too much when we've offered someone a business, we've offered them an opportunity, we've offered them to sit down with us, we've explained how the business works, we've offered them an information video, we've actually offered them the tools and the resources they would need to change their life. If they're ignoring you, firstly, I have a theory that if somebody ignores a message, like they've asked about the business, you've sent information, you try and follow up, they completely ignore you, or they say they're going to join your business and then they ignore you, they ghost. My personal theory is that those types of people are not equipped and cannot handle the types of pressures, relationships, conversations, follow-up processes, systems that are required to successfully run a network marketing business. And they're not the kind of person you want in your team. So please do not chase them. If they're going through an emotional crisis, they will come back. Love on them, check in with them, but do not try and convince somebody to be better at communication. Because if they can't even say to you, look, I'm just not interested in this business, thank you, or please stop sending me this information, whatever it is, if they cannot two-way communicate, how on earth are they going to run a business like this? How are they going to coach somebody? And are they going to be coachable by you? And the answer is usually no. So fuck them off. They're not the kind of person you want to work with. So choice. Number two, people oftentimes when they decide to stay shit, actually stay shit because they're taking the easy road. And what I've found is that freedom and responsibility go together, right? So if you're working towards a life of freedom, and the more freedom you have in your life, the more responsibility you have in your life. So for example, I get anxious a lot, and usually it's anxiety through overwhelm because I have all the time freedom in the world. There is literally not one thing in my life that I have to really be at or show up for. Every single thing I do, being a successful entrepreneur, where my network marketing business is my primary income, means that I have all the time freedom in the world. And it's fucking overwhelming because although it sounds incredible, I can go lie by the pool till 3, I can go to the gym at 1:30 if I feel like I can do whatever I want. It actually takes a shitload of discipline and responsibility to continue moving my life forward without losing my sense of freedom. So responsibility and freedom go together. And what I find when you offer somebody a life of freedom, quite often it's too scary for them. It's too scary to have to think of having to show up and work your own business when nobody tells you to. It takes discipline, and it's not easy to consistently move your business forward when you can't be bothered on those days. Whereas it's actually quite easy to go to a job where you know you have a boss, you know you have a paycheck, someone's going to tell you what to do, and there's, you know, consequences to breaking those structural requirements. So I find when people are choosing to stay shit and they're choosing not to actually build a life that you're offering them, it's because they're taking the easy way. And a lot of the time, the easy way is the third thing I want to talk about, which is habit. It is damn hard to break habit. It is really hard, and it is impossible to break a habit without replacing it with something else. Unfortunately, that thing that they have to replace it with is 99% of the time discipline, and it's something people don't like. People don't like discipline. They don't like to be uncomfortable. They don't like the responsibility. And this is why so many people continue to not be free with their lives. They continue to be unsatisfied. The other thing that I find, number 4, impatience, and I'm going to wrap this up with number 5, which is unrealistic as well. So when people join, or when you're talking about an opportunity for somebody and they're saying no, they're choosing to be shit, or they've joined, they've said yes, and they're still choosing to be shit by not taking action, I find what people do is they try for a little bit and then they stop. And unrealistically, the expectation is that, well, I do one action and I get one result. That's what they have in their mind. Whereas in any business building process, in any construction process, in building a home, in cooking a cake, in going to the gym, in any process, there are steps that have to be done, and you can do them fast or you can do them slow. You can cook a cake over 3 months. You can add an egg one day, and in 2 weeks you can add the flour, and then in 3 weeks you can add, I don't know how to bake, PS, but you get what I'm saying. Same thing with building a network marketing business. I don't know why people, well, I do know. People are just unrealistic about the time frames and what it actually takes. So they're impatient or they're unrealistic. And because of that, they do a little bit and then they choose to stay shit because they actually don't understand the process. So if you're finding people in your organization are quite often saying, well, I don't know, it's not because they're choosing to stay shit. It's about number 6. They actually don't know how to not be shit. They actually don't know what the next step is. They don't know how to execute it. They don't know how to ask that person for a group presentation. They actually don't know how to send that text. They don't know how to follow up. So it's not understanding of how, and that is a skills-based thing. And we have to remember that when you start network marketing, when you start a business like this, when you start any business, you're actually not naturally born with all the skills that you need to do this business. And that's where the training and the coaching and the systems and the support come in. So if you don't have a system, I have a free ebook. Take it. It's kataso.com/download-katas-systems-system-book. But that's another reason why people stay shit. They actually don't know how. And you might be one of those people. You might have every intention of running your business, and yet day by day, week by week, month by month, you're just not doing anything. And it's not because you don't want it. It's because you actually maybe don't have the skill of scheduling, or you don't know how to get disciplined. And this rolls into my next one. God, I love it when things just work out. Number 8, people consistently stay shit because they actually don't have the tools that they need. When I say tools, I mean things from, I know consultants that are not building their businesses, and when I ask them why, I say, do you know how to book an activity? Yes, I know how to do that. Okay, great. Let's do that. We book the activity together, and then they go, well, I don't have the products. Well, fuck. You don't have the tool to run your business. How are you meant to empower yourself and encourage yourself and get excited to run a business when you don't have the tools? So consultants that start with no products, or they do nothing they use through their products and then they try and get started, that's hard work. It is so hard to build an online business without a laptop and a phone. And I've had people sign up and then say to me, oh, PS, I don't have a laptop or a phone. Of course you're going to stay shit because you don't give yourself the tools that you need to succeed. Same thing with the mental tools, the personal development tools, the emotional tools, the drop boxes, the websites, tools that you need which have nothing to do with who you are. They have nothing to do with your intention, your motivation. The tools that you need to actually succeed. Like if you go to school and you don't have a pen, how are you meant to write your reports? Like think of it like that. Think of it like that. If you go to the gym and you don't have activewear, you're in high heels and a suit, you're probably not going to do the workout, or you're not going to do a very good job at it, or you're going to get fed up and unmotivated because you don't have the right tools. So number 7, they don't have the right tools to actually succeed and build a business, and that is why they stay shit. And I also think a lot of this is within not knowing how and not having the tools. A lot of the time, these people, you just need to ask for help. Just ask for help. If you have seen in yourself that you either don't have the tools or you don't know how, that's a systems thing. That's a learning, that's a systems, that's a getting help thing. Get a mentor, get an upline, talk to your sponsor, learn how to do it, because if it's a skill or a tool that's stopping you from, getting what you want out of your business, that's not a really good enough reason. Like it really isn't. That's something that you have complete control over as well, is equipping yourself with the successful tools that you need to do what you have to do. So number 8 reason why people stay shit is it's too much resistance. And I know you might say, well, it's all in the head. You can get over everything. And you can, but there is different stages of resistance. And I know if you've done my 6 Steps to Awesomeness Badass School, I talk about the comfort zone, the courage zone, and the terror zone. In the comfort zone, most people love to sit there, but fuck all happens. That takes us back to number 1 that I spoke about, the freedom and responsibility thing, right? So comfort zone, easy. Then outside of that, there's a terror zone. In the terror zone, nothing happens either. And I think what people do is they start their business, or they push their consultant through the comfort zone, which is good, past the courage zone, which is the ideal place to work, into the terror zone. And putting somebody into a terror zone, into their terror zone, and every single person's terror zone is different, and it changes as you evolve, as you learn, as you get better at business, as you get better at life, as you get more mature, more experiences, etc. But when you push somebody into the terror zone, you've actually, just think of it like this. You know when you're at the beach and you're swimming and there's like a little wave and you can jump over that, that's all right. There's a bigger wave, you can jump over that, that's all right. It was a little bit hard. And then you see this giant wave and you go, I am not going to survive that. And you absolutely eat shit. You don't know how to get through it. It was too high to jump over. You didn't know how to duck under it. And you absolutely are completely wiped out. You're choking, you're spluttering, you're splurting, and you go, I'm getting out of the water, because that hurt. That was scary. There was too much resistance. There was too much wave coming at me for me to survive. This is what we do a lot of the times in our businesses. We put ourselves in these situations where we want to challenge ourselves, or we want to challenge our consultant, we want to push them a little bit, but it's too much. And at times like this, you need to scale it back. And I personally have something called a chicken list, where I have different levels of what I'm comfortable talking to people about. Obviously at the top, it's straight, join the business. If I'm too scared to do that, if it's too much resistance, if I'm finding it too hard to do that, I'll take it back to maybe try the product. If that's too hard, then I like giving foot spas, I'll give them a foot spa. If that's too hard, if it's too much resistance, I'll take it right back just to hanging out, going for a coffee, whatever. So if there's too much resistance, you will stay shit. You cannot fight against that. You either don't have the skills, you don't have the tools, you don't have the whatever, everything I've gone through, but ultimately it's too much resistance. And something that I found in my consultants recently is resistance has actually come in the form of environment. I'm a big advocate of environment always wins. And if you are surrounded by negative people, if your family is consistently negative, your partner is consistently negative, your job is negative, if there's all of this resistance pushing against you externally, you are going to crumble internally unless you are just some almighty God of strength and personal development and encouragement. And in times like that, people stay shit because there's too much pushing against them. That's where you have to stop and go, okay, let me look at my survival needs. Do I feel loved? Do I feel safe? Do I feel supported? You know, am I healthy? And if not, if people are not above their base survival needs, they are not going to succeed in these businesses. There's no point throwing books at them. There's no point saying do more. There's no point going, you can do it. That's the time we have to go, okay, maybe it's time for you to move jobs. Maybe it's time for you to move states. Maybe it's time for you to change your environment, because that push is not going to ease up. It's not. So if there's too much resistance, people stay shit. Same thing with internal resistance. There have been times where I've actively said to my consultants, okay, it's time for you to stop working your business and you're going to focus on your family right now, or you're going to focus on your health, or you're going to focus on just your personal growth. We're going to look at your self-esteem. We're going to get you out of that toxic relationship. Taking a step back to remove the internal resistance. And my coach does this to me too. And my internal resistance usually comes in the form of exhaustion. And I don't realize I need to stop and sleep and have a day off, and then I'm totally fine. But if I don't realize it's internal resistance and that's the reason that I'm being shit that day, I could beat myself up all I want. I could take as much action as I want, but I will not get the results that I want because there is too much resistance. And the last one that I want to talk about of why people stay shit, why they say no, why they don't do the things that they could do to change their entire lives, is because they actually don't know what they want. They don't know what they want, they don't know where they're going, and they don't know why they would either do the business, or if they're already in it, why they're doing the business. So it's a lack of direction. And when people don't have a lack of direction, they do one of two things. They either stand still or they go around in circles. And I find a lot of the people that we ask to join network marketing, and we know that this business will be absolutely incredible for them, and they say no to us, and we go, what the fuck? Why? It's because, not that they're not unhappy, they know that they're unhappy, but they actually don't know where they would rather be. And if you don't have a destination, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have something that you want, then why would you move? Why would you do anything different? And I find this a lot in my business chats with people, where I actually ask leading questions. I do get a little bit in their head, and I do ask the questions that I know they've never asked themselves. Like, I was talking to a lady the other day. I was at a group workshop with a consultant of mine, and she runs multiple businesses. She's incredible. I'm completely in awe of her. She's very intelligent. She's got multiple degrees. I think she has 2 or 3 different businesses. But I could tell, because I wanted to work with her, I thought she would be amazing in our team. But I could tell she would say no to me because she doesn't know what she's missing. So I started asking questions. Wow, your business is so incredible. Do you actually generate a profit online while you're actually not face-to-face? Or do you actually have to show up face-to-face to make money, and you have to trade your time for money? And I worded it in a way, well, pretty much exactly like that, where she wouldn't have even considered the option of online sales. Then I said, wow, that's so incredible. So are you going to do that until you retire? Do you actually have a plan to, eventually be able to enjoy your time, or are you just going to work until you drop? Another question that she hadn't thought of. And if people don't know their pain points, if they don't know what else they could have in their life, if they don't know the other options, if they don't know what they want, if they don't know they want more, if they don't know there is more, they're not going to say yes to you. And even if they join your business, if they don't know why they're there, they're not going to do anything. So is somebody in your business shit because they actually just don't know why they're there? They're lost. They don't know what they want. In which case, go back and help them find what they love in life. And I've had consultants that have been in my team for years, have done fuck all, but through that process, it's taken them 3 years to actually discover what they want. And all of a sudden, once they figure out what they want and they link it back and they go, oh, this is how the business is going to help me, they come alive. So you can't skip that step. People don't do things for nothing. We're what's in it for me creatures, and we're essentially lazy. We're survival machines, not success machines. We're hardwired to do the absolute bare minimum unless we know why we're taking action. So that is my back of receipt list of why people are shit. To go over it, choice, they stick with easy. They're so in the form of habit. They're impatient, they're unrealistic, they don't know how, they don't have the tools, there's too much resistance, or they don't know what they want and where they're going. So that hopefully will explain to you why so many people say no to you, or why so many people join your business and do absolutely fuck all. Hopefully it will stop you from being confused and frustrated, and will give you some perspective and some questions that you can ask, maybe even yourself, or maybe some of the consultants on your team, or maybe some of your prospects. Again, I do have that prospecting module which goes through a lot of this stuff as well. So katasir.com/prospecting. I will link it for you if you need help in the sort of how-to step-by-step process and the mindset stuff and the objections and anything that basically goes with talking to anyone in the business. So let me go through your questions. You guys just LOLing at my receipt notebook. I should have brought a notebook, but yeah, so I chose weight limit and extra shoes. See, you can get through everything. Okay, let's see. Moved to Canada. Yes, I know you moved to Canada. Okay, you guys are just laughing. Great. Does anyone have any questions about this topic at all, either on Facebook Live or Instagram Live? No, I feel like I've answered all your questions. Excellent. Good, E. So, yes, it is okay to succeed. And success is different to everyone else too. Actually, you know what? Let's add that one to the list. People don't know what success is to them, or they think they have to achieve something which somebody else is achieving and they don't know what they want. No, actually, that goes back to they don't know what they want. See? Solid receipt list right here. Anyway, guys, that is what I wanted to talk to you about this week. I will throw this up on YouTube as well. If you are on my email list, you would have received a weekly musings email with a little story, a behind-the-scenes story about how this all came up this week as well. And if you have any more topics that you want to discuss, let me know. I will link the prospecting module here for you. I'm excited to be in the States. So if you have any topics, what you want me to talk about, I'm doing a topic a week at the moment, which is fun, and I'm loving it. So love you guys. I will see you another time. Have a fabulous day. Mwah! Bye.